Hello, YouTube and valued viewers. It is Thursday, a thankful Thursday, July 9th, 2026, and I am Byron with the Splitting Slices Knife and EDC channel. I hope you are glad to be here. I certainly am, because besides being a thankful Thursday, we're going to do knife number 4 in a 10-part series called 10 by 10 by 10 knives. I show you 10 knives in 10 days straight, and we talk about 10 minutes each on the models. So let's get going. The knife I've got is definitely one of my favorite pocket carries. It's bigger. You folks should know by now, if you tune into the channel on a regular basis, I do like the bigger knives, both the modern folders as well as, say, a lock back or a slip joint. And this one certainly fits the bill and takes the cake and is a favorite in my pocket. This is made by the Finch Knife Company, and this release and model started a brand new brand name for them called the Sugar House Knife Syndicate. This is the Jackrabbit, and we'll get into why in just a few minutes. Now, the whole concept of this brand was to go back to the prohibition days in this country's history, where we had all sorts of characters that carried and used all sorts of tools to make their living. Some legit, maybe some not so much, but it was full of characters, and they are going to use that theme to highlight some special knife designs that they'll be releasing over the next few years. If you go to the Finch Knife Co website, you go to the Sugar House Knife Syndicate pull down, you can see about 8 or 9 models that they already have pre-designed, ready to produce, but they will do so at their leisurely time when it makes sense for their business model, and hopefully we will get all of those designs in the next few years. Let's take a look closer at the Stag version of the Jackrabbit. Now, the Jackrabbit was made in 4 different configurations. This Stag Bone is by far the biggest, thickest knife that they have of the model. They created a carbon fiber scaled model called Jazz Stripes, which has a beautiful wood grain tone in the carbon fiber scales. They created a Mint Cream Resin version of this knife. And finally, a gin red bone, a smooth bone covered version, which unfortunately I have not found anywhere to be purchased. I believe it is sold out at this time. Now, I've also unfortunately can't find anybody that has new Stag versions available either. So I don't want to spend a ton of time on this other than to use it as an example. But let's go ahead and open it up, take a look. Beautiful clip point bowie blade with a slight upswept curve tip. We have a swedge starting from the mid spine of the knife out to the tip. Nice crescent shaped nail nick. Polished satin finish on the blade. A integral faux bolster frame design, so the frame and the bolster are all one piece, stainless steel. We have a single flute on both sides of that head bolster. We have a 5-pin, 5 or 6, 5-pin, I think, construction on those scales. So 5 pins hold those Stag scales onto the frame. Of course, they are onlays. All right, and very nice coloring and toasted work on the Stag Bone to give it a real nice appeal, and certainly a thick, beefy grip in an extra large hand like I have. Four-finger grip, no doubt about it. Thumb goes right over those jimps that are on the base of the spine, right above the tang of the blade, gives you lots of grip. And of course, with that lock back construction, you can make all sorts of pull or push cuts. Some penetrative work with that tip will certainly work out for you all right. And just a nice heavy-duty lock-back style knife. A little bit bigger in the pocket, though. But I do enjoy that for a work knife or at least a primary EDC carry. If we look at the tang, on this side, you have etched in it the model number, the name Jackrabbit, and then 14C28N steel for the blade. If you turn it over to the show side, we have Sugar House Knife Syndicate etched in the tang. Nice finger choil, or pardon me, a sharpening choil in that blade, so that works out really well. All right. Again, 3/4 thick of an inch on this model, but all the other 3 models, you have a 1/2 inch thickness in your handle scales. 0.9 inches height in both the handle and the blade height at its greatest point. All right. Again, we said 14C 28N for the steel. Handle length when closed is 4.3 inches. Blade length is 3 inches. Probably a total of about 4 inches on that curved cutting edge, since we do have a bowie style blade. And again, the overall length is 7 3/4 inches. Now, at the time of release, the Stag Bone version of the Jackrabbit ran $110, but all of the other versions are currently for sale, retail price of $95, either from Finch or at one of your favorite dealers. Now, at the time of filming, I did look to see if this knife was available in any of the configurations, and the only place I could find 2 configurations, the Jazz Stripes or the Mint Cream, they were available at Atlantic Knife Company, but I have found no other dealers that have them in stock, including Finch. So, if you're interested in this Jackrabbit model, you probably should hurry over to Atlantic and grab one while you can, because I don't know if they will be releasing this exact model again in the future. Again, they have 8 or 9 designs already in the pipeline, and I have a feeling we'll see at least a version 1 of all of those before we repeat. Now, here is a copy. I'm going to break the rules a little bit and show you a second knife, but it is the same model, just a different configuration. Here is the Jackrabbit in the carbon fiber Jazz Stripes configuration. And you can notice that beautiful wood grain look that is in that carbon fiber. Again, we have the 5-pin construction holding those scales on. Here you can see the knife thickness is only a 1/2 inch, and all the rest of them are that way as well. And the namesake and how the model gets its name is for the Jackrabbit shield that you see here, which most of us know that this was similar to a very prolific logo back in the day. All right, so there you go. There's another version of the Jackrabbit. Let's turn it over. You can see this side. Again, beautiful wood grain look in that carbon fiber. All right, and again, a lock back. You have to push back on that spring lock in order to release the knife. But once it is opened, it stays locked in place for work and tasks. All right. Well, I think that's it, folks. I'm running a little shy of 10 minutes, but I hope I gave you most of the information you need. Go check out Atlantic Knife. Pick up one of these 2 remaining versions of the Jackrabbit. More knives are to come, I'm sure, from Sugar House and Finch in the future. And stay tuned to my channel to know when they release. I also own a second model that has been released by the company, and that one is called the Flying Goddess. And we may take a look at one of those as one of our 10 knives. All right, that's going to do it for me. Byron from Splitting Slices saying, please split a slice with at least a friend soon. Hey, make it a crowd if you want. Doesn't matter to me as long as you're buying. And until my next video, everybody, please take care.